Hey guys, CPT mechanic here. And if your car is bouncy driving down the road or knocking over speed bumps and curbs, your rear shocks are probably toast. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to go from this old and worn shock absorber to fresh, newly installed shock absorber and protector kit to have your car driving smooth as silk once more. Let's get cracking. Right, so this is the old shock absorber on the car. You'll see the shock protector has fallen down, exposing the chrome section. Let's take a closer look at the rubber. The rubber on top does look very worn, perished and cracked, so it's very much overdue for replacement. Let me show you. Okay, so let's start off by chocking off the front wheel. Let's go to the back wheel. Let's pop off the center cap with a small pick. And let's crack the wheel nuts loose with a 17mm socket, all 5 of them. If you had an impact wrench, that will make the job go much easier and quicker, but unfortunately I don't, so I'm using hand tools. So cracking them loose, let's jack up the rear of the car, the rear wheel, with my bottle jack. Let's pop the axle stand underneath. And let's lower the car onto the axle stand. There we go. Okay, so let's take off the wheel nuts the rest of the way. All 5 of them. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. And that's 5. 5 wheel nuts off. Cool, so let's pop off the rear wheel, exposing the disc pad, shock and spring. Right, here we go. So the rear shock is held on with 1 nut and bolt at the bottom. And on top there are 2 bolts holding in the mount. So they'll have to come off. So let's start off by soaking the nut and bolt in penetrating spray, just to get them easier to remove. Let's use a trolley jack to jack up the rear shock. This will make it a bit easier for removal. And let's use a 16mm ratchet socket and adjustable spanner or wrench to get the bottom bolt and nut off. So cracking them loose and running it out the rest of the way. Just forgive my arm, it's a bit in the way. But there's the bolt coming out. And let's go on to the top. A 16mm socket will be needed here as well to crack the bolt loose. Let's crack the left. Crack the right also loose. There we go. And let's run it out the rest of the way by hand. Space is a bit tight, but we'll make it work. Right side off and left side off. Cool, so let's pop out the shock. It's a bit stuck at the bottom, but you just have to jimmy it and wiggle it until it will eventually pop out by compressing the shock and moving it out of place. And this is the rear shock removed. You'll see this offers no resistance at all. That's why the car was bouncy when driving down the road. And this is made by Sachs. So Sachs was the original manufacturer of shocks for this car, Sachs and Monroe. So this is probably an original shock, a 19-year-old shock on the car. So it's well overdue for replacement. And there's the little nut holding it on. So let's use a 16mm spanner and adjustable wrench to crack the top nut loose, the top nut for the mount. And let's turn the nut loose the rest of the way. Here's it coming off. Cool, there we go. So let's pop off the mount. The protector kit comes with it as well, so it is what it is. Completely off the shock. And let's separate the mount from the old protector kit. Very snug and tight in place. And there we go, that's the mount. The bushings still look fine, so I'm sure it can be reused with a new shock. And this is the new shock that will go on, about 520 Rand, so it's best to replace them as a pair, the left and right hand side respectively. This is a Monroe brand. So this is how a shock should perform, offering very strong resistance when pushed. And guys, if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to mash the subscribe button, like, comment and share if you want to see more videos in future. Thanks a lot guys. So that's the new shock, and this is the old shock, offering no resistance at all. You'll see the big difference there, old to new. Hence why it's being replaced. Cool, so let's pop on the new protector kit going on and popping the shock mount on. So this kit costs about 250 Rand for the left and right hand side, comes as a pair. So it's best to double check which protector kit fits on your car, as they do differ from vehicle to vehicle. Right, so let's tighten the mount onto the new shock, holding it down with the shifting spanner as well. And there's the nut being tightened onto the mount, snug and secure. Cool, so it's time to reinstall. And there's the new shock on. I've skipped the reinstallation, but the new shock is on. Bolts tightened and secured. So this is the old shock on the right hand side, and this is the new shock installed left and right hand side done. Guys, thanks a lot for watching, and hope to catch you in the next video.